Hey y'all, Chris Jones here, Guerrilla Realty, and this is a quick follow-up video. So on Wednesday, um, I shared a tool called Listing Cake that for now is free, might be paid later, but for now it's free. And it got a pretty huge response, like 300 comments and counting, people signing up and using it. And I mentioned in that post that there was some bonus content that I could offer, and it's a lead generation strategy that's related to Listing Cake. So a lot of people log in, and it's got hundreds of shares on social media, and it is a really cool tool. And it's got some flash and some sizzle. A lot of people go in and they create a listing video, and they look super professional, and you don't need any skills to do it. But they create a listing video, and the sole purpose is to show off to their seller or to show off to their colleagues. Look at the video that I created. Look how professional it looks. And if that's the only thing that you ever use Listing Cake for, then you really miss the point and it's a wasted opportunity. And so I wanted to follow up and show you some bonus content. I've never shared this strategy before. I'm not publishing this video anywhere else. I just saw the response that post got, and I decided that there's probably a lot of people in this group who would probably benefit from this. And even if there's not, even if there's only one person, then it'll have been worth it. But what I want to do is I want to walk you through step by step. There's basically 5 steps to this process, and uh, it's really easy. It doesn't have to cost anything, and you could probably knock it out in about an hour this afternoon. And my brother and I have a real estate practice. We use this exact strategy to generate over 80 leads last month, and we do it month in, month out. In fact, 80 leads is a light month for us. And so I just want to walk you through the entire process. I want it to take less than 10 minutes. In fact, it has to, because I have an appointment to get to. But afterwards, if anybody has any questions about this strategy, then just post it in the comments, and I'll be around all day and all day tomorrow. And I'd love to connect and answer those questions. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right into it. So in order to use this strategy, you have to have a listing. The thing is not all realtors have a listing. And so I'm going to teach you how to borrow a listing. There's actually lots of ways to get listings to advertise, but I'm just going to show you one method. And basically, I'm going to use Zillow because their visual search is a lot better than my local MLS. And one of the criteria that I use for finding a target listing is, well, there are two criteria. One is the price range. I want it to be in the sweet spot, so it needs to be average sale price plus about 20%. And that's just to kind of weed out some of the low end buyers that I don't want to work with, and also to make a little more money when we do find clients to work with. The second criteria is it has to have amazing curb appeal, and that's why I'm using Zillow instead of the local MLS. But I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the average sale price here is $261,000. So if you do the math, it's like 298 would be like the low end, and 329 would be the high end. If you gave yourself a 10% range at that first standard deviation. And so I enter in that sale price, and we're just going to look around and see what we can find. And it was selected before sale by owners, so we're gonna look at everything. And what I want to do is I want to scroll through the visual search here on the right, and I want to look for things that have, that pop, that just amazing curb appeal that is going to grab people's attention and generate me a lot of leads. And so I actually scoped this one out before. This is a Remax Advantage listing, but this one has amazing curb appeal. Now the inside, maybe some things that need to be fixed about it, but the outside has amazing curb appeal, and that's going to be my first impression when I create an ad out of this. And so what I want to do is I want to take this listing, and I'm going to go ahead and save a couple of images. But then I'm going to get in touch with the listing agent. Now, if you're a new agent, you're not familiar with how to advertise or how to promote other people's listings, all you need is written permission. And so I like to send an email. Yeah, it would probably be easier to make a phone call, but I like to get it in writing just in case there was ever any questions about why I'm promoting somebody else's listings. I like to get it in writing that I have permission. And so I want exterior photos only. So you can tell they have tons of interior photos, but I want exterior photos only. And the reason why is I'm going to build an ad. And that's the third step. I'm going to build an ad that maximizes curiosity, because it's going to get me more leads than if I showed all the interior photos. Okay, so grab those, and then we need to find out who the listing agent is. In this case, I already looked it up. It's Shruti Desai. And so I'm going to send her an email. And this is the next step to borrowing a listing. Is just going to send off an email. I actually have a template saved, and we share this for free on our website if anybody wants to use this template. But basically, you just have to fill in the specifics about the listing. So this is on Blue Water, listing on Blue Water. And her name is Shruti. And then the address is 4000 Blue Water Court. And you're done. So I'm going to send that email, and then I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait to get permission before I move on to the next step. But we don't have that kind of time here. I have to do this in less than 10 minutes. So assuming I have permission, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself to Listing Cake. I'm going to drive out to the property, and it might take 15 or 20 minutes to do this, but when you see that you could generate 80 leads from a single ad, the time investment is worth it. And so I'm going to go to Listing Cake. I'm going to take a couple of short video clips of the interior of the property. I'm going to take some snapshots of the outside of the property, and you can just use your phone. You don't need any fancy video equipment. I don't have any fancy video equipment. I just use my iPhone, and I take a couple of snapshots, a couple of short video clips, and I go into Listing Cake. And like I said, for now it's free, and once you get an account, it'll always be free. You won't ever have to pay for it. And this is going to help me build a beautiful looking listing video that I can then use as a bribe to attract leads. And so you just drag and drop your pictures and your video clips, and I don't have any yet, but you would just drag them in there. Then you would click over here and choose a layout. Then you would choose the background music that you like. I'm partial to Oceanside. And then you're going to type in all of the agent information and property information, which is going to appear here on your preview. And then you're going to click to create. You click the create button. It's going to create a video for you. And you can either upload it to Facebook, you can upload it to YouTube, and then you can share it with anybody you want. Okay. So the next step number 3, is to build an ad. Okay. And so I'm actually going to use an ad generator tool rather than write it from scratch. You can write it from scratch. I'll give you a couple of tips on how to write a high performing ad. But if you have Pipeline Pro Tools, which is our flagship product, I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. I just don't want this video to be about selling our product. Okay, so you would just click over to tools. You would use the ad generator tool. You would create a new ad. You just enter some specifics about the property. Let me tell you the ones that are important. The price, we're going to leave it $1. I don't know if you remember the Price is Right, $1 Bob. But the reason why we don't list the real price is this is our number one tool to generate curiosity in the buyer. And generating curiosity is the name of the game here. We want them to respond to us. We want them to text or go to our website or whatever for more information so that we have the opportunity to capture the lead. Okay, just delivering information doesn't do us any good. Okay, and so I withhold the price, and then I post a really brief description. And my rule of thumb is 5 favorite selling features and nothing more. Okay, so even if there's like 12 features that are awesome about the property, just pick your 5 favorite, list them here, and then put and many more. And so you write the ad like that and then hit next. And this is going to automatically generate an awesome ad that you can copy and paste into any ad platform. And you could use Facebook Marketplace, you could use Craigslist, I even use Zillow, which is a whole other strategy. If anybody has any interest in that, post in the comments and I'll do it. But then I'm going to click over to Craigslist, and you can see that I've generated an ad. It's nothing fancy, but it is based on 1,000 different tests, the highest converting ad that you can have on Craigslist. And it was generated for me automatically. Only took a couple of seconds. And the call to action here is to get a complete video tour, text this unique property code, which was generated on the fly, to this phone number. And this is one of our other tools that's included in Pipeline Pro Tools. However, again, this isn't supposed to be a pitch for Pipeline Pro Tools. You can actually use any autoresponder as long as it has this feature, or you could actually just make up a fake code and you could have it text it directly to your phone number. This is like the poor man's version. This is what we did before we had autoresponders. And then you could manually text back whatever the information was that you wanted to get them. I like to use listing cake as the bribe. So the call to action is to get a complete video tour, text this code to this number. This is my highest converting call to action. So you can generate, like I said, 80 leads a month, no problem, using this one strategy. Okay. And the key is I started with a house that was in the right price range, that had amazing curb appeal, and I withheld most of the information. So I didn't post the price, I didn't post interior photos from every angle. And then I had a great call to action and made it really easy for them to get a video tour to see inside. Okay. Now here's what's going to happen once this ad goes live. Okay. Normally within an hour, I'm going to get my first lead. It's going to be texted to my phone. It lets me know that somebody just basically tripped my lead capture device for the home on 4000 Blue Water Court. And at the same time, it's going to automatically it's programmed to text them back the listing video that I created with Listing Cake. And so they get awesome value. I get a lead. And 5 minutes later, when I know they're done watching the video, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to see what I can do to help. And the cool thing is there's already a connection here because they recognize my voice from the video. They just got something of amazing value, which they couldn't get on Craigslist. They couldn't get on Zillow. They only could get from me. And so there's already a great connection there. And more often than not, I'm able to submit some type of future follow-up or even an appointment. And so that's the entire process. I did it in under 10 minutes. So yay me. What I want to do now is two things, because I always get tons of follow-ups. If you want Pipeline Pro Tools, and again, this isn't a pitch, but if you want Pipeline Pro Tools, there is a link in the caption where you can get a demo. We're not going to just post a link where you can go and buy. This isn't supposed to be a sales pitch, but if you want to see how you could use Pipeline Pro Tools and some of these tools for your business, then we're happy to show you. And we have truly hearts of teachers, and you can book a demo and somebody will walk you through 15, 20, 30 minutes, however much you need, and answer any questions you have about Pipeline Pro Tools and how to use this strategy. Okay, if not, no biggie, okay? But if you have questions on how to implement this for yourself this afternoon, post those questions in the comments. I'll be around all weekend, and I'd love to help anybody else who wants to implement this exact strategy in their own practice. So ask me anything you want. I'll be around the comments, and I'd love to help you. So we'll end it there. Take care. Hope this is helpful.